All right, ladies and gents, what's going on? Welcome back to Tight Splice Charters. Captain Cody Davis here as always. And if you can't already tell, we are on the water right now, but we are not on Lake Okeechobee. We're not even in my boat. This is actually technically my boat. We'll kind of get to that in a second. We'll let you guys know what's going on here. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. This is going to be just kind of a bunch of randomness, if I'm being honest. It's going to be kind of a travel vlog. Me and Breezy are up here in Central Florida, and we made a little pit stop on our way to the annual Icast convention. Now, most of you that are watching this are probably familiar with what Icast is, and most of you watching this have probably attended or, you know, have attended before or are attending this year's Icast convention. We're only going for one day because we've got the baby now. Can't stay for 3 days and party with everyone afterwards, but just gonna go up for a day, and I'm gonna bring you guys along, just kind of, I don't know really what I'm going to showcase there. I'll probably just show you guys what Icast kind of looks like inside for those of you that aren't aware of what it is. And I'll probably showcase some products that are coming out this year that I think are pretty cool. I'm going to be at the ARC booth. Going to be I don't know, Icasting it up, showing people around. So where we're at right now, we actually drove up this afternoon and we just got done with dinner up here in Central Florida with my parents. We are at my parents and mine, I guess you'd call it, little lake house. We're on a little private lake here. This is called Saddlebag Lake up here in Lake Wales, Florida. And this isn't actually the entire lake. This is actually the man-made lagoon with all the houses on it. The main lake is right behind these houses here. I don't know how many acres it is, but it's a decent sized lake. But what's really cool is it's spring fed. So in the middle, it's like 80 feet deep. The water's pretty damn clear compared to Lake Okeechobee standards. And what's cool is, you know, my parents have a place right back here. I'll kind of showcase it to you guys when we get back. And we've had this place here since I was about 8 years old. My grandparents lived here for a number of years. And unfortunately, the lake flooded. All of these homes, these mobile homes and everything you see are surrounding and back of me here, were literally had 4 feet of water in them. The lake came up due to high rain that we had hit with a hurricane. All kinds of crazy stuff happened. Literally, this whole place was, I don't want to say obliterated, but it was flooded for about 1.5 years. We couldn't get in. Finally, they were able to bring the lake down some way. Can't even remember how they did it. But they brought it down, and instead of selling the place, my dad decided to take it over, and he redid the entire place inside and out, and which is what the same story is for most of these homes that you see here. The cool thing was, for 1.5 years, this lake didn't see a bait thrown in it with a hook on it. There was no one in here. So while we were here working on the place, me and my brother and my dad were able to fish this lake, and the fishing was off the charts. I don't know how many fish over 8 pounds we caught over the course of 1.5 years, and still have, you know, the fishing is still relatively pretty good. But the lake's totally different, you know, so it's a different type of lake. I've been fishing it since I was 8 years old, and what's cool is I'd come up here and spend, you know, a week or so out of the summer with my grandparents when they lived here, and it was like, it got to showcase, you know, I got to use tactics and show how much I had learned as an angler over the course of 1 year when I came up here, because you know, it went from me just throwing a red shad ribbon-tail worm, to me throwing a spook, to me throwing a frog, to me Carolina rigging in deep water, to me cranking. And it's just always cool to come back here and fish, because I spent so much time learning how to fish on this lake as a kid. Same thing goes for this boat. My dad bought this Ranger, 17-foot Ranger, when I was 8 years old or something. Grew up fishing Okeechobee out of it, and he still has it. My brother, he gets bored out of his mind, so he's always looking for projects. So he took it, redid the whole thing, sea-decked it recently. It looks great. The thing still runs like a champ. So it's pretty cool fishing on a lake that I grew up fishing as a kid and still do fish, and fishing out of a boat that I've been fishing out of for, hell, 18 years or something now. Ridiculous. So pretty cool. So we're out here doing some fishing right now. I'm not sure how long we're going to fish. We got storms coming, and I don't really have that long to fish. I literally only brought one rod with me. Just brought a frog rod. We're going to see if we can catch a big one. I was going to go out to the main lake, but with that storm coming, I think we're just going to kind of skip some frogs around these pontoon boats, because I don't get to fish structure. I fish Lake Okeechobee. I don't get to fish boat docks or flat pads or you know, or pontoon boats or anything like that. So we're going to play around. Hopefully we don't get wet. It looks like we might. And then, I don't know, I'll showcase to you what I catch, and then I'll show you around the little house, show you some cool pictures, and then we'll probably be off to Icast. So Icast vlog starts right now. So like I said, guys, this is what we're in right now. This is what we call the lagoon portion of the lake. This is the man-made dugout finger. Look at this, man. Choked the frog on the fountain. Look how that belly, and he's got a big bluegill in his stomach. We're about to get rained on. I've been pulling bass off of that fountain since I was literally this big. Look at that. Look how pretty they are in here. Because it's a deep, clear water lake. They're such a different color. That's a stud for in here though, man. Look at that. You can see that tail down in her throat. So cool. So like I was saying, this is the lagoon. This is man dug, and they dug this out when they were building this development here that we now have the place on. So this is where I got my first real freedoms of becoming a bass fisherman. My dad or my grandfather would let me take the boat out, trolling motor only, but my rule was I had to stay in the lagoon. And I remember before cell phones, they'd literally give me a walkie-talkie, and I had to check in like every 10 minutes. But the lagoon's not big. I mean, if I put the trolling motor on 100, I could fish this whole thing in an hour. Well, I know every inch of this place, and I've fished it so meticulously because this was all I had. I mean, this was my Lake Okeechobee back in the day. And that fountain, like I said, I've been pulling bass off that thing for as long as I can remember. Actually, the last time I ever got to fish with my grandfather, he pulled a 6-pounder off of that with a 6-inch pumpkin seed Zoom lizard. Never forget. But you know, it's so cool just to come back every year, or whenever I can come out here and just fish and catch fish like that. And it just shows, like, I always go back to it. If I knew what I knew now then, I mean, there's no telling, you know. And what's cool is, like, this place right here, I'm spun around now, but if you guys could see, when in the fish catch, there's a pontoon boat there. There used to be a gentleman that lived in that house. I'm sure he's no longer with us, but he was an older gentleman, and he started the first bass club Kevin Van Dam was ever in. Kevin entered their bass club when he was like 10 years old or something. And when Kevin would come up here to fish like Toho and things, he would stay in this house with him. Pretty cool. So that was cool. That was a good one. That was like a 5-pounder. My dad's gonna be pissed he didn't come with me, but he's at the place with Breezy playing with the baby, because that's why we came up here, really just so they could get to see lake. That was cool. Popping frog. That's what I wanted. I wanted one big one. I don't know if I'm going to get to fish much longer because there's lightning, but we're going to try and come up here because there's a little submerged piece of Kissimmee clump, grass clump up here, that a little sneaky spot. Let's see if we can get one. I remember one summer out here though, when the Spro frog first came out. It's funny, that's what I'm throwing now. But I remember throwing it alongside one of these pontoons. Not knowing anything about bluegill spawn, I didn't, you know, nothing like that. It was just, I just wanted to throw a frog. And I remember catching one like that one I just caught, and her just, I mean, coming out from under the pontoon, wrecking it. And looking back, I remember that day, I had like a 23, 24-pound day out here. And I was just, I mean, and I knew I caught them on a frog, but I'd never put the pattern together because I was so little, I didn't know. They were bluegill spawning, looking back, up around these pontoons, and the fish were obviously laying under them like docks. If I'd have known now, again, what I know then, I mean, who knows what I could have caught. And I've caught multiple 9s out of here. I know of a 15 that's been caught out of this lake. I know of 2 12s that have been caught out of this lake. There are giants in here. My sister caught a 9.5 last year out of here, actually, right here where we're sitting. You guys can hear that thunder. I'm probably going to have to head back to the house and maybe just wait it out. Or maybe, or if I can't get out today, maybe I'll be able to get back out in the morning for a little bit before we leave. lot of these places here on the water, you know, the residents don't fish, and they don't want the flat pads or the grass behind their house. So they'll actually come out here and scrape, get in the water and scrape all the pads and the needle grass and stuff away from their house. And at first I didn't like it when I was little because I thought they only lived in the grass, but it makes a really good area for these fish to spawn or for these bluegill to spawn, like what's going on right now. Right up here is a nice clean spot. So you'll see a lot of these flat pads, and I really don't catch a lot of fish out of the flat pads. But any of these gaps in here used to be the deal. Oh my God, guys. Giant. Oh. Oh yeah, you hear that 115 EFI? You guys hear it? You guys remember when they used to die when you put it in gear? I think this rain's gonna pass, but it looks a little, there's some lightning, so we're gonna at least head closer to the house. Piss stream on this thing. No one makes a motor that pisses like that anymore. All right, we did not get to fish as much as I would have liked to. Mother Nature just didn't let it happen. You can see we still got dark clouds and lightning happening here behind me. Just walked out here. We just went and got some ice cream, and I just walked out to take a few casts with my dad's square bill rod here. But pretty cool. At least got to come out here and fish just a little bit. Would have really liked to got out in the actual lake a little more, but at least I caught one. Lost a legit 8 or 9 pounder, which was crazy. But pretty cool setup. We got our little place right here on the boat, beached, and just walk out and get in the boat, which is pretty awesome. So that's gonna be it. I'm gonna take a few casts with this, and then I'm gonna go in, take a shower, and go to bed, because we got to be up super early. Us only being at the show for one day, we're going to try and get there as soon as they open. So that's about it. So I guess I will see you guys in the morning at the gates to the show. So stay tuned. Hey, say we're ready to Icast, man. Yeah, ready? I got my hood on like all the professionals do. Here we go. Alright guys, we are officially Icasting. Got our badges, got the registration, and now this is it. There we go. Hitting up obviously the ARC booth first. Blake, don't listen to anything that guy tells you. Hey guys, first cool thing I put my hands on so far at the show is here at the ARC booth. ARC came out with some new reels this year. Things seem pretty cool. They feel rock solid, which is out of the ordinary from any of these new reels that are getting put out on the market anymore that aren't a part of the main 5 reel manufacturers. I feel like you pick them up and they feel like something that should be in a clam pack in Walmart. These is not the case with these. Feel rock solid. They've got a new patent pending braking system, which I'm excited to try. I don't know. I don't really know much about them because I haven't got to test them on the water yet, but this will definitely be something I'll be checking out. You guys should be too. I forget exactly what the price point is on them, but it will be coming out here shortly. But they palm very nice. You guys know that a lot of the reels I use, I'm very picky about how they palm in my hand. These are very low profile, very lightweight. They've got, you know, awesome grips on them, and I'm excited to give these a shot. So definitely keep a lookout for these.
Lawrence is over there. Oh my god. Where do you want to go? Good morning.
There's the land.
Yeah. Good morning. Don't cry.
Alright guys, this is kind of something pretty cool. This isn't really a new product. This is a company that's been around for a little while now, and this is something that me and Breezy use all the time. We have one. A company called Kahuna Wagon, and basically they just make all different types of different beach carts. They're made here in the US. They're great. We use it for going to the pier, toting out all of our tackle, our coolers. When we just go to the beach for the day, coolers, chairs, you name it, we throw it on there. And using it around the house, obviously we got to move giant things of stuff around the pasture, big bags of feed. It's great. You know, we have one cart we can do a little bit of everything with. So definitely check them out. They got all different makes and models. And like I said, they're all made here in the US, so super cool. And they came out with an electric one this year, which is right there. And apparently they've had people riding it around the show all day, but definitely will assist you when you're moving around a lot of heavy stuff, going to the beach or whatever. Alright guys, someone needed a diaper change, but sitting back here in the back corner of the convention center, this will give you an idea of how massive this show is. You know, we're only here for the day, obviously because of this guy, like I said, but we used to make a whole week out of it and be here for 2 or 3 days, and you still cannot see everything, and it's a, you know, an 8-hour day. Tons of cool stuff. So far, I'm not really doing a great job of showcasing everything we've seen, but we got another few hours here, so hopefully I can show you guys as much as possible. All right, we're here at the Googan booth. They came out with this new bladed jig trailer. This thing is pretty pimpin'. Totally different. It's ribbed. It's got an awesome kick and tail. Very different. Pretty cool.
We're eating. Raymond was there.
I think they'll be too small.
You need to talk to some people.
Hey, that's my boat. That's not me, but that's my boat. West Wall on gas, poppin' frog fish. I officially made it. I told you it was my boat, and I told you it was West Wall with a poppin' frog too. Oh yeah, see that lake? Your dad's famous.
Hey guys, so today we are here at the Tight Spice Charters booth, and we are going to be talking about fishing a spro frog when the nose blows out.
Hey, yeah. Real stuff. If you're ever looking for a guide on headwaters, Kissimmee, Toho, you do all that, right?
Saltwater.
Anything, yeah, inshore. It's my buddy Tyler.
Hit me up.
You got Garrett as well. Garrett catches 10-pounders every weekend on Kissimmee, I feel like. But you didn't catch them in the Icast Cup.
No, we caught one. We needed one more.
I'll put all their guide stuff in the link in the bio. Or you can guide Breezy. All right, we're here at the 13 booth. This is something I'm super excited about. This isn't for bass, it's a snook lure, but they made the first company I know of to make a plastic ladyfish. This thing during the mullet run, or just really anytime during the winter, bridge fishing for snooks, this thing's going to get smoked. You can fish it with an EWG hook, which is what it's made for, but I've definitely put like a 2-ounce jig head in this and roll it around on a big heavy rod. Super cool, super cool. What do you think so far, Lake? Pretty cool, huh? So we're walking around right now. Like I said, the best way to enjoy Icast is the way I get to. I have no sponsor obligations. I have really no business being here. So I just get to walk around and put my hands on stuff. Two of Breezy's cousins are touring pros, Brandon and Jared McMillan, and she helps them out with their social media and all that stuff. So it's crazy just to see like how many appointments they have a day, where and when they need to be places. So we're running around. She's taking pictures and getting content for them and all kinds of stuff like that. Pretty cool here. I'm here at the Thumper booth. This is, never even heard of this company before, but just picked up one of their frogs. Looks like this is kind of what they're basing their company around. Really neat frog. It's a lot more round and tall than the traditional Spro frog that I like to throw. It's got the right hooks in it, which I really like. Thick gauge hooks. And I actually got a groove cut into the frog so that your hooks lay in there perfectly streamlined, so you're not going to get hung. But the plastic that the frog's made out of is, I don't know how to explain it. It's durable, but it's super soft. And it's got a lot of give to it. You can see it's actually like almost stretching. So I don't think you're going to encounter the problem that we've been having with all the other frogs ripping the mouth out. I like the skirts are real close together, so it's more like a tail than the traditional frog. But they seem pretty neat. They're pretty heavy. They're heavy, so I know they're going to throw really well as well. And they got a really nice cup in the mouth. Definitely going to get a card from these guys called Thumper. They got a bunch of different colors. You guys know I like black, but they got bluegill and shad colors up there too. Pretty neat. They also got this little guy going on here too. I don't know what they call it, but pretty neat creature bait there. It's almost like a beaver, a stinger, and a D-bomb together. I think it's intended to be like a swim jig trailer, but that would work killer just flipping that on a 3/4 ounce around Okeechobee. Pretty neat. Okay guys, well that's a wrap. Icast is officially over. I did a horrible job showcasing the event to you guys. This was probably almost a wasted video, but all my footage didn't save to the camera for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. That was kind of odd, but here's the deal. It's a 3-day event. Me and Breezy typically go for, all 3 days, get a hotel room, spend the week in Orlando, hang out, take our time. We're able to, hop from booth to booth, make sure we see everything and everybody we want to see. And this year we got there late and we were only there for 1 day and had to cram everything into 1 day's work. Breezy literally had to work the event for pros and companies she works for, getting content. We had a couple there was just a lot crammed into the day. So we didn't really get to enjoy it, and me and her both agreed on the way home, we'll never do that again. We're gonna, but next year Lake will be old enough where we can leave him with one of our parents, or with our parents, and we can go and just spend 3 days. It's a lot of fun. At the end of the day, it is a little hectic. Not really for me. I don't really have any obligations being there. I just get asked to go from some companies because I'm very fortunate and I'm very thankful for it. Breezy takes it serious, goes and works and stuff. But at the end of the day, we just get to walk around and talk about fishing and put our hands on all the new fishing stuff and just meet a lot of cool people, get to talk to a lot of cool people that we've met. I have friends in the industry that I've literally met because of Icast, which is really cool. And we really only get to see each other once a year and talk on social media and stuff. But it's really neat. Hopefully you guys got somewhat of an idea of what it's like, just kind of the clips of us walking around. Saw a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming out this year. Nothing game changing in my opinion, just the next step in the next or the next step of the last year's product. You know, we're fishermen. Everyone's constantly improving their deals here. So it was neat. Got to talk to some pros that I've never met before, and that's probably the coolest and kind of oddest thing about Icast, in my opinion, is you take a nobody like me and you're literally like at the food court, and you know, Randall Tharp's behind me, and I you know, Breezy knows Randall and his wife very well, and obviously her working with ARC. You know, he's kind of the main pro with ARC. And so I've got to meet him and talk to him time and time again through her, and this year was no different. Talked to him for a long time, but you know, you're with Elite Series and the Major League Fishing pros and the best in the sport, just standing there at the same booth as you. Got to have a long conversation with Lee Livesey. Most of you probably know who he is, back-to-back Lake 4 champs. Never met him before, fishes the Elite Series, but super cool guy. It was just cool to pick his brain and just hear about that amazing fishery that they have out there on Lake Fork. I don't know, there was so much I didn't see this year, guys. I didn't make it. And here's the deal, you go for 3 days, you will not even come close to seeing everything. That's how big the show is. We were only there for 1, and there was so much that I didn't see. Just looking back at it, looking like I didn't go by this booth, I didn't see this person. I barely even scratched the surface, so it was kind of a bad video, but I'm posting it just because I'm trying to keep my content coming out to you guys. So if it was kind of a bust or a trash video, I apologize. Maybe you guys liked watching me fish my old, you know, my lake house. Going to be making a trip back there sooner than later. Felt real good to get out there on that little lake. The weather sucked. My dad's been out there the past couple days catching some fish. It just brings back a lot of memories, and I love fishing it. So I will be going back out there filming a different type of video for you guys. And when I do that, I'm going to try and go for a couple days, fish that lake. I'm going to go fish like maybe Headwaters or Kissimmee with another couple guide buddies of mine that guide up there, and I'll, you know, leave all their information. That kid Garrett with the long hair and the mullet in the 13 booth that I told you about, he's ridiculous. He's a guide now, started guiding full time. Legitimately, I feel like he catches 10-pounders every weekend. So hopefully I go film a video with him. He guides up there in that area. So that's kind of what's coming up. And probably what the next video will be after this one will be some sort of Florida Keys video, because that's where I'm coming to you guys at right now. We are at my in-laws' house down here in the Florida Keys in Big Pine. Any of you that fish with me, I let you guys know that I spend a lot of time down here in the summertime because my in-laws have this house. And we like to come down here and enjoy it. And I've been down here, it's like my 4th time down here this summer. Just haven't really got to do any filming. Weather hasn't cooperated, and this week is no different. It's been blowing like crazy. Usually have a big boat here. My father-in-law took some of his family out snapper fishing tonight, and my soon-to-be brother-in-law took him and his 2 kids out shark fishing on their boat. So the boats are gone. I just decided to hang back and help Breezy with the baby, and it's a little bit rough out there, so I just didn't feel like going and getting beat up. I'm still tired from driving from Orlando, but I don't know, we're here for 10 days for mini lobster season. Breezy's family takes this very, very serious. I don't get in the water, but you know, they're starting to get all their dive equipment and stuff together, so I don't know what the next video will be. It might be us jigging the wrecks for amberjacks, or going grouper fishing, or just maybe I'll film the lobster extravaganza. I don't know. As the plans for tonight, I might go either fish here in the backyard. We got a bunch of tarpon that live right here in this back canal. You can see we got the underwater light out there. Might play around with them. Might go stand on a bridge, try to catch tarpon or something. But I'm assuming the next video or 2 you're going to see on the channel is going to come from down here in the Keys. And then when I get home, it's going to be back to bass fishing. You know, I needed a break. The lake's very tough right now. It is difficult. It's a grind. It's good to be gone for 10 days, kind of take a reset, and then I'll be back out there grinding it out. Probably do some snook and tarpon fishing when I get home as well, but got to get back on the lake grind for sure. So that'll be what you guys will see coming. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Sorry if it was a bust. I'm just putting it up just because. And I'm going to get my fly rod out and try playing with some of these pet tarpon, and we'll move on to the next video. So I'll see you guys on the next one.